Hey, what's up? Dean Sear Performance, back at the shop and still working on Jeff's S10. But this close. So everything's done in the back end of it. I got the little side skirts on. And at first they kind of stuck out a bunch and I just couldn't deal with it, and there was a huge gap between the bumper. I think I kind of showed it in one of the other videos, but I ended up just trimming. I swear this phone. I ended up trimming away at the flange a bunch, as much as I could, and then I trimmed the inside lip down as far as I could to get it to seat up against the roll pan, which it's really close. And then there's a bolt down here that goes through, so everything is like super tight. And there's one bolt up there, same on this side. Got all that done. The kill switch is right there, so you smash it in, it shuts off. Everything under the hood is back together. The radiator's in, the fans are in, the pump is on and working, and the alternator's there. I got the battery charger on it. I have like a true one-wire alternator coming. This one is the 3-wire alternator. It needs the 2 wires here. One goes to the post, and then one runs off to like your light on the dashboard. Acts as a resistor. So I'm just gonna swap it out with a true 1-wire, and I'll put this one on the shelf. The solid state relay is all wired up. I got that red wires running into the fuse box. The ground comes across and goes onto the back of the throttle body. The blue wire triggers the 2 solenoids. The gray wire is to that plug for the Holley output. So that's all done. The headlights, you can see the green and the yellow. They're tan and green like factory wires, but the green and the yellow now run down. And what I did, you can't really see it because it's behind the grill. So what I did was, on the back of the headlights, let me see if I can get the light. There it is. See how there's that little green right here? So both wires came off the back of the plug, and then this one wire ran up and in. So literally both lights were fed off of this one wire. Same with this one. This one I left a little longer so that we can, like, you could tie in like LEDs or something like that if you want. So now these 2 are off the relay, and they're like a battery feed. And then at the end of them, the 2 headlight wires split. So they're 2 connected to the 1. So that these carry the heavy load. Literally just pulled it completely out of the harness, apparently. I'll get all this back together. So I got the fuse box back on. Yeah. So you can see high beam, down there is low beam, and then this one, I had it marked sniper for some reason, but it's actually a line lock. The PQY solenoid for the front brakes. Fan 1, down there is fan 2. So all of that is labeled out and in and good and working. Hiya. I got the power steering hose made and on. Bunch of stuff, everything. And then I stuck the bezel back in to give me the 2 switches for the headlight and the nitrous. So now the way it's wired is, you know, this is your headlight switch. The dimmer is non-functional. The dome override's non-functional, but I'll shut the light off. You turn to parking lights. The switch lights up, which is cool. And then we've got tail lights. Both sides are lit up. There'll also be a license plate light that lights up. And then you can see the bulb hanging. That's the front parking light, and the bulb over there. Front parking light. No headlight. Then you switch one more time to headlight, and you can see the low beams are on. And working off of the relay, this is low beams, and they're pretty bright for low beams. So I think what I had read about the, not having the relay is the lights drew so much that they couldn't actually fully power themselves in a sense. So now that they're off the relay, they're straight off of battery power. But what's cool is with them in the headlight position, you can see, all right, there's all kinds of bulbs, huh? There it is. That little parking light used to be the bumper light. That one over there. And then you also have, that's your blinker and parking light is lit up. And tail lights are on. And then let's see if it works. I don't even know if this works. Try and set the phone down. Again with the phone, trying to set the phone down. So yeah. Alright. So I'm not sure. The phone is freaking out. Anybody else with a Samsung that has this issue? This is a brand new phone. Keeps shutting itself off. But I don't know if you saw, I whacked the brake lights a bunch of times and they actually lit up. So that works. Everything else works. Shut this off. So that's off. And then the nitro switch isn't lit up. But then go to key on. And you see you got that light there. And then when you turn it on, that's armed. So now the nitrous would be armed in the Holley. This is your master input. So it's off. And I don't have the gauges hooked up or the laptop hooked up. So I will just real quick that is rowdy. Fires right off. Idle's good. I worked on that a little bit yesterday. I made sure the pump temp on and off was good. The fan temps on and off were good. And sitting here idling to the point where I couldn't breathe in the shop. It was roughly like staying 178-ish, 180. Kind of bounce back and forth between like a 185 and a 178, somewhere around there, which is like perfect because I didn't think the radiator was big enough, but with having the pump on there to be able to turn on and off, and the fans, both fans coming on at the same time, it works perfect. So the only other thing I could have done was taken the fan 2 output, which I believe is the green one there, and I could have ran it over to the fuse box to trigger another relay for the pump. But it's fine the way it is. I have a sensor in the head right there, that turns the pump on and off. I believe it turns it on at 185 and turns it off at 170. I can't 100% remember. It also has the built-in fuse right here, so it's its own circuit in a sense. We don't have to mess with having another relay and fuse and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna keep plugging away. My idea, I did the oil pressure gauge. I gotta get that wired in. I mean, really, there's only two things I have left, and more or less pretty much done with this truck. I added a button here, and what I'm going to do with this button is it's a low voltage, so I'm going to send the signal from the button, you know, the contact from the button, over to trigger the high beam, so that this way here he turns the switch on, he gets low beam. If he wants to run a high beam, he can run a high beam like on a return road, or you know, something like that if it's real dark out. And then get the oil pressure wired up. Tomorrow I'll get the alternator in. I had thought because the alternator should be here today, I had thought the lines, the coolant lines, were gonna run from the back to the front. The fittings were supposed to be here today, and now unfortunately they'll be here tomorrow. I got the 490s, I have the line. I'm gonna have to move the Holley coolant sensor down to the back of the head, which I'm actually better with that. So I'll get that moved, and then that'll allow me to have that port or I could actually move it to right here and then have this port for the coolant line, and then another coolant line on that side will be run. And then the only thing left mechanically is to verify the timing on it. I haven't done that. I mean, the damn thing starts up so good. Can't be too far off, but I got to verify the timing on it, which I'm going to do today. The oil too is clean as of yesterday, fingers crossed, and it's clean. Okay, phone did it to me again, but it's spotless. It's so hard to see it. Stupid. There we go. There we go. But you can see it's fresh, clean oil. Maybe half a quart low, but there's no milkiness to it, no nothing. So that's awesome. I don't have to do, you know, multiple oil changes. We will change oil because it's cheap oil and a cheap filter. So he will, before he runs the truck, after he gets everything else done, he will need to change the oil to what I'm going to recommend is changing the oil to a good oil, and a better filter. It's just a cheap Fram filter. I don't like the Fram filters, the bypasses in them are iffy, so he can change it back to like the K&N that he had on there. But this way, before he starts driving it and going down the track, it'll have fresh, good oil in it. I mean, that's pretty much just about it. So I'm gonna jump back on getting the high beam switch and all that stuff, and then that's where I'll end this off. I'll have the laptop on. I'll put the dash back in, because I want him to take it back out to paint it. So I'll get all that done, and then I will fire it up and we'll start playing with some of the fueling and stuff pretty soon here. So I'll be back in a minute. Well, a little more than a minute. All right, we're back, and the dash is in. I got all the wiring done, so the dash is back in. He threw away the airbag cover because he's a jerk. I only got it in with the 2 screws. I didn't put the bottom one in. He's got to take the dash out to paint it. But I just got off the phone with him, and everything works. So the nitro switch lights up to let you know it's there. Dash comes on. Oil pressure works. I did just start it a couple times for him, so it's 122 degrees, which is not fully warm on these trucks, but the nitro switch, which I gotta grab the laptop, make sure that this is actually triggering in the software. That's armed when the big light is on. The light switch, if you go to parking lights, the whole switch lights up, which is kind of cool. And then it turns the parking lights on, not the headlights, just all the parking lights inside and on the back. You got both parking lights are on. So that's all wired up good. And then when you switch over to headlight, you got your low beams are on. And all the parking lights are still on. Don't mind the water all over the floor. So, and the headlights are much brighter with the relays. It is definitely true. Parking lights still stay on, which was a little tricky to do with that switch, but it's all good. And then this little button here, if you watch the headlights, you kind of see. You see they go bright. So this switch triggers the high beam. What else? Still haven't figured out the neutral safety switch. I tried going to the top one. I don't know what's going on with it, if it needs to be adjusted or something, but it's just weird. It'll start in any gear. But the trans brake, you can kind of hear. That works. The line lock should work. But so the key's been on for a little bit, and make sure the timing light's not. Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
Right there. Might need to change the color. Do that. There we go.
Alright, so the video cut off again, but the truck was idling good and everything. Fans came on, pump came on, stayed roughly 183, and I got the door open, no AC running, so it's a bit hotter in here today. I got it up on the lift, draining the coolant, and yeah, it's nasty. And then cleaned up the floor from the mess. So I got a few things left to do under here. I got to put some P-clamps on the transmission lines, the battery cable, and then I'm gonna get rid of this license plate light that, like, it's magnetic and it was broke. So I think I just got to cut it up in here, this little box. It's somewhere up in here. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, it should be all this spare wire. Yeah, there you go, Jeff. I hate you. So I'll get this. It's probably right here. This is probably all I need. Yep. This should be all I need right here. These two wires. So this will be the parking light and ground. So I'll take that one and I'll take this one, and I'm gonna put two little LEDs kind of in the corner facing somewhat diagonal on it. And then that way there, he could stop crying like a baby. And then yeah, I just gotta wait on the few other things to come in the next couple of days. I think the alternator will be here today, the other fittings tomorrow. So today's Tuesday. So if I have everything Wednesday, yeah, if I can bring everything Wednesday, the truck should be done Wednesday. And I can get the coolant lines on. And then and I'll flush from those lines. I'll pull the truck over there to the door, and I'll flush everything out real good, just to know that it's done. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So for now, this video has been long, a little bit long, and there'll probably be one more, like, finale video, final video, whatever you want to call it, before he takes it. Hopefully this weekend he'll have time to come and get it out of here, and then I can get the Pontiac over, check out the floors on that. But that's it for now. I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and leave a comment. Have a good day.